Hello, this is Jonesy from Jones TV Reviews coming at you with a review for the season premiere of Arrow Season 4. Now, Arrow Season 4 came out a while ago, but I've decided I'm going to catch up with all my CW reviews, and so this is going to be my review for the season premiere. In this episode, a lot of stuff happened. Season 3, we ended, uh, where Oliver was going into the sunset with Felicity and everything was good. And really, the season 3 finale was a mess. And season 3 of Arrow was a mess. And really, what the season 4 premiere did for me is it sort of brought me back in a way that I hadn't been brought back in since season 2. And so, really, it was a great episode. There was a lot of character development that we'll talk about. Uh, they a lot of action too, which was missing from the season 3 finale, which was one of the reasons I hated it. But this episode really gets you back into Arrow. So basically, what happens is Oliver and Felicity have moved in together into a new community. They live in the same house. Oliver, of course, is not uh, a practicing member of Team Arrow per se. He's sort of retired at this point, and uh, the Diggle is still operational. Or Diggle is still, mad at Oliver, but Diggle is still working with Thea and Laurel to try to track down these ghosts who you don't know who they are, but they always seem to never be able to catch up with him. And so basically, uh, they figure out that uh, nobody nobody wants to be the mayor of Star City after all the things that happened with Ra's al Ghul and stuff. Nobody wants to be the mayor, and it's time for an election. And you get introduced to the main villain, Damien Dark, whenever he comes on screen, and he says basically, "I'm the head of the Ghost, and this town is gonna be, taken over by me, and he's gonna let the town burn." And so you figure out when he gets introduced, you just notice right away that Neil McDonald's Damien Dark is far superior to Ra's al Ghul last season. He was actually a good central villain this season. They really needed a good central villain too. After the last one was such a joke, and so Neil McDonald's Damien Dark fills the role of the villain perfectly in this episode and throughout the whole season, as you'll see. So the police station gets attacked, and um, Lance almost dies, but the Black Canary, or Laurel Lance, saves him. And so Oliver is about to propose to Felicity at this point, but he gets interrupted whenever Thea comes in, and basically Oliver sort of has to don the hood again and sort of become the Arrow again. And so him, he, Diggle, who still doesn't like Oliver because Oliver kidnapped Lila without telling him about it, him, or Diggle, Oliver, Thea, and Laurel go trying to figure out more about Damien Dark, and they figure out the location of one of the meetings. At the meeting, they see him suck the life out of uh, one of the office or one of his men for failing his mission, and Oliver believes it's a. They interrupt that after he dies, and try to take out as many of them as they can and kill Damien Dark. And in the process, they figure out there's going to be a bomb that they're going to place and blow up the train station to Star City. And so you figure out this plot. And from this moment, Neil McDonald's performance too is like another level. He's at the level of uh, Manu Bennett's Slade Wilson in season 2. Like, he is a good villain. You know that from the start of this episode, whenever he kills his own minion because he failed, and the way he just approaches everything. So they figure out about this plot, and Oliver has to don the hood again, and there's this awesome train fighting scene where they're fighting through the train, through the train. Well, they fight in the train yard and on the train to try to stop the bomb on the moving train. It's really sweet, and they end up. Oliver ends up confronting Damien Dark, and Damien Dark has the magical abilities, and so he stops the arrow and sends it back into Oliver. But Diggle luckily makes it in time to save him, and they stop the imminent attack. So it's a really good moment seeing Diggle and Oliver in action again. The whole thing with Felicity and stuff, it was like the low point of this episode for sure, and it's gonna be the low point of the season. Every time Arrow seems to go high, it brings it down. But the Diggle Oliver thing's always something that the show has. Dynamics always something the show has going for it. But as I said, Neil McDonald's Damien Dark in this episode, superb through the season, and the flashbacks start out good this season. They end up getting bad, which I'll talk about later on, especially when I give the season review. But Oliver is contacted by Amanda Waller, who luckily we get to see Amanda Waller, and is basically sent back to Lee and Yu to investigate a drug operation. Oliver basically gets drugged and then thrown out of a plane with a parachute back to Lee and Yu to figure out what's up there. And so that's where it leaves off there. And the moment, the final scene of the episode really is, it fast forwards 6 months and Oliver is standing in front of a tombstone, which is not labeled yet. It's not labeled who dies. And basically he's saying that he's going to kill somebody. So you don't know who he's going to kill at this point, but it adds that sense of, oh, I got to keep watching. It's an actual cliffhanger, which is funny because season 3, after every single episode, I didn't want to keep watching. It was stupid. And so I really, really didn't like season 3. And this season 4 finale, or intro, this season 4 premiere definitely wrapped me back into it. All the action, Damien Dark being introduced as the villain, the drama sort of being a little bit toned down, and the humor that's coming to Arrow is actually welcome in this episode. It wasn't overbearing like it can be in some episodes, and is in some episodes this season. So I had to give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. I won't give it a 9. It wasn't perfect. Of course, the Oliver Felicity stuff brings it down, but this was a good premiere, and it sort of cleans up the mess that season 3 was. Of course, he actually is known by the end of the episode as the Green Arrow, as he opens up the city. The Arrow's dead. Now he's the Green Arrow. So that's something that'll be recurring this season. He'll be referred to the Green Arrow, and he has the new suit, of course, which is really awesome. There's a scene where he's equipping his arrows and stuff, and it's pretty sweet. But this episode, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 8.5 out of 10 for Arrow season 4, episode 1, the premiere, Green Arrow. It wasn't perfect, but it definitely was sort of cleaned up the mess of season 4. At least this episode was nothing like season 3 Arrow, but was like it was actually sort of a what's that called, a drawback, or I mean a reminiscent of season 2. And so this episode's really great. I would suggest watching it. It's a good way to start out, especially if you watch season 3 and you realize you basically stopped Arrow. Season 4 is a whole lot better for the most part. There is some issues, lingering issues still, which I'll discuss in my finale, but I'd watch this episode and I'd watch the season. So I'd give this episode, season 4, episode 1, Green Arrow, a 8.5 out of 10. This is Jones